Welcome, welcome, welcome to this taster session for In Touch with Yourself. And what we're going to be doing today is a guided visualization to connect with your sexual energy. And I guess one of the first questions probably is like, what is sexual energy? What is this thing that we're going to be connecting to today? And I think it's really important to think about. Language has some restrictions sometimes. So we have certain words that we apply to sexuality and sexual experiences. And sometimes those words work and sometimes they don't. So sexual energy for me is a kind of, I'm trying to think of the word, it's almost like a foundational part of sexuality. And then from that, we can also think about things like libido. So libido, so like how horny you feel or not. You can think about desire. So what do your desires lead you towards? Like, what do you desire in your life? How do you desire to express your sexual energy? But if we don't have this connection to the sexual energy, it's really hard to know what we want to do with it. And ultimately, we get to choose, like, my sexual energy is mine, your sexual energy is yours. So you get to choose how you want to experience it, how you want to enjoy it, and how you want to express it. And I think particularly as women, other people often have expectations of us around our sexuality. So it's really important to start from that inner place, like, this is mine. What do I want to do with it? How do I want to experience it? So if any of you are familiar with the chakra systems or the energy centers in the body, then today we're going to be thinking about the sexual energy center and thinking about that in terms of where it's located in the body, which is underneath the belly button. So it's kind of like that belly area. And the color that's associated with the sexual energy center is orange. Now, this is just one way of thinking about it. So I'm going to invite you to join me thinking about it in this way. But if ultimately the color doesn't feel right to you or the location doesn't feel right to you, then play around with what it's actually like for yourself. I'm going to ask you to visualize certain things. So this is a guided visualization session. And I know that different people have different responses to being asked to visualize something. So some people see it really clearly in their mind's eye, like they have a really clear picture. Some people are more likely to feel it in their body or sense it somehow. And for some people, they won't see it or feel it, but by putting their intention to having the experience, they can kind of create that experience. So again, I invite you just to play around with what works for you. And I'll use certain language. So I'm going to invite you to see, feel, know, or intend when I talk about different parts of this visualization. Choose the one that works for you. So if, like I say, if you're a visual person, then you might see it, you might feel it, you might just sense it, or you might just say, okay, I'm going to use my intention, power of my intention to create this experience for myself. And I do think intention is really important here. Often if we've been feeling disconnected from our sexual self or disconnected from our sexual energy, one of the ways that we always have control over or power over is to focus our intention. And energy follows intention. So when you put your intention to creating something like this experience of connecting with your sexual energy, then that's the experience that you can create. So that sounds a little bit woo-woo. I think some people are really happy with woo-woo and some people aren't, which is fine. So again, take this experience, take what works for you and leave the rest. So I'm going to invite you to, if you're comfortable, get yourself comfortable, have a little wiggle. And you can either close your eyes, or if you just want to lower your gaze or soften your gaze, whatever feels comfortable for you. Again, there's no right or wrong way to do this. I will make some suggestions and you adapt them for what feels most comfortable for you. So with your eyes either closed, your gaze softened or lowered, just begin to notice your breath. And just begin to notice how this feels in your body. So you might become aware of your chest or your belly moving with each breath. You might become aware of the sensation of cold air in your nostrils or in your throat or mouth, or warm air as you breathe out. So just notice the sensation of your breath. And you don't have to change anything. You were just noticing just now. Just the in-breath and the out-breath. And now I'd like you to bring your attention to that area below your belly button. So you might want to put your hands over it. You might want to place your hands on your stomach, or you might just want to hold them over that area, or you might just want to bring your attention to it, whatever feels comfortable for you. And this is your sexual energy center, your sacral chakra. And it's not just where your sexual energy lives, it's also where your creative energy lives. And the two of those are completely interlinked. Sexual energy is creative energy, which is sexual energy, which is creative energy. It's a really powerful energy center. And traditionally, this center, the sexual energy center, is given the color orange. So I invite you to visualize an orange ball of energy in this place. You can see, feel, know, or intend to experience this energy ball, this orange energy ball. And just bring your attention to it and be curious. How big is this ball of energy? Is it bright and glowing, or is it dull and muted? Is it still, or does it pulse or spin? As you keep your focus on this ball of energy, I invite you to breathe into it. So with each breath, you're bringing more energy into your sexual center. And again, just be curious about what happens as you breathe more energy into this place. Does your energy ball get bigger? Does it become brighter or change color? Is there any movement there that you can sense? Just keep focusing and adding your breath, adding your intention. And we're going to start interacting with this sexual energy center. We're going to play with it. So what happens when I invite you to expand this energy? How does that feel to you? How does it look? And I invite you to move this energy into every single cell of your body. So you can see, feel, know, or intend that the sexual energy is now filling every cell in your body. You might begin to feel some tingling or warmth. You might begin to get a sense of who you are as a sexual being. And as I said at the beginning, there's no right or wrong with this. This is your experience. And while you're connected to this creative sexual energy, what happens if you have a conversation with it? Ask it how it wants to play. It might be that your energy wants to do something creative. It might want to dance or move. It might be asking you to touch yourself, to experience some physical sensory pleasure. Or maybe this energy just wants to be quiet, just to be with you, an inner process. And you're always welcome to sit with this energy, to meditate with it, to interact with it. Because I said at the beginning, this is a foundation part of you. This energy is always with you. Just sometimes it might be more vibrant and alive. Other times it might be more quiet. But we can begin to play with it. Choose how and when we want to expand this energy. Choose how we want to enjoy it, experience it, express it. So now I invite you just to begin to bring your energy back down to a size, a shape, a sense that feels manageable and comfortable for you for the rest of your day. And if you like, you can just spend a moment thanking this energy for connecting with you today. And if you don't feel you made a connection with your energy in this way, that's okay too. It's still there. It's still a part of you. And it might just be that there are some other practices that suit you better. There's no judgment. There's no right or wrong. So now slowly just come back to noticing your breath. the sensation of your chest or belly or back moving as you breathe in and out, the air in your mouth and nose. And just take a few more breaths. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Welcome back. Welcome back. So after this session, if you would like, I invite you to maybe just spend a few moments either processing your experience. You might want to journal about it. You might just want to sit for a moment and think about what this has been like for you, or feel what your energy is feeling like now. Again, no right or wrong, but I would encourage you not to kind of dash back to work immediately. Just give yourself a few more minutes to be with yourself, that bit of me time. And if your sexual energy did have any messages for you, any requests, any invitations, you might just want to make a note of those and come back to them at a time that's going to be convenient for you. And I also want to just say that there are many ways to experience our sexual energy. It's not just about sex. And when I said at the beginning that, you know, our creative energy and our sexual energy are completely intertwined, I think it's really important to be quite creative about how we express this part of ourselves, how we experience it. So again, I would invite you just to kind of like expand the possibilities of how you might want to experience your sexual energy in your life.